Day 3. Good morning, YouTube. See, I just feel like I work so much better on my own schedule. I actually wake up before my alarm goes off. Today I woke up at 4:58. I like waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So, it's 5:19 and I'm already ahead of schedule. I've already gone inside, done my morning business. So, I'm just warming up the truck. Today was the warmest morning I've woke up in a long time. It was only 48 degrees outside. Not bad. It's a little windy, so I put my little Swift jacket on. I don't feel as constricted because it's got a zipper. I don't like being constricted, so I don't like wearing things on. Like I prefer to wear shorts and t-shirts, not even like jeans and t-shirts. Like I don't like my legs and arms to be covered. So, here's the clock. All I have left to do is eat and pre-trip. So, and I would show you all the pre-trip. Well, not the whole fucking thing, but basically what you're looking for. Um, Even in a new truck, I still check my hoses, belts, and all of that jazz. Just because people like to do stupid shit. So, um, but I'm always doing it in the dark, so it's kind of pointless. My 8-hour clock, it's already reset. It reset about 11 minutes ago. 29 hours and 41 minutes, which means after I drive, I'm only going to drive 10 hours today. Unless I get super hyper like I did yesterday, I'll drive the 11. I want to park. But the goal is, so there's my clocks, they're reset. Really nothing to write home about. I've already certified my load. I mean, not certified. I certified my logs from yesterday. So, whenever we get to this place to put fuel, that will be in 184 miles. That'll be in 3 hours. I will go through changing and going to the next one. It's just a push of a button, waiting for this bitch to upload, and then we take off and keep on trucking until we want to get as close to where I'm dropping this big old load of socks off to, as close to them as possible, because whenever I start my clock tomorrow, then I just want to drop and pick up my next load and start forwarding that down south. So, I will update y'all later whenever break time comes around. And like I said, today's going to be another pretty boring day. I mean, driving is driving. The stuff that we do, actually, my son, whenever we put the GoPro on here, he gave me his whole kit to take with me. It has like all these weird attachments and different handles and stuff. I don't know. I don't like to look weird. Any more weird than normal, that is. Um, I may just attach the camera to my wrist or my chest or something, just so you can see what I'm doing outside. It may make more sense. It may help you come up with a way to everything. I keep getting asked about the air brakes and is there a way to study for the test? Practice. Practice, 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 practice. When you go to the academy, they're going to make you do it so many times, and you're always in a group of 3 or 4, sometimes more. And every person that you're in your group with, you're always going to be in that truck with. And every single morning, you're going to watch every single one of y'all pre-trip. Every single morning, every single one of you is going to rotate seats doing the air brake test. Once you see it done so many times and you do it so many times, usually by day 2 or 3, you've got that shit down. You're so sick of air brake testing, you can't even wait to get that shit over with. Now, people will tell you, oh, there's nothing to be nervous about. Oh, you know it or you don't. Okay, the know it or you don't part is some shit I would say. But um, unfortunately, there's none of my classmates with Swift anymore, but they would be able to tell you. I'm not somebody who gets nervous. I don't fear things. That is until I first got on top of a mountain and was like, hey, man, I'm not down with this. Now, the mountain driving is probably my most favorite part of driving because I feel like That's when I'm actually quote unquote driving. The rest of it, you just drive it in a straight line. It's fucking boring. There's nothing to look at. And while you're still focused, it's so routine, it's so second nature. You don't really realize that you're constantly scanning your mirrors, every couple of seconds and checking distance and counting all these lights and stuff and counting cars. You don't realize that you're doing it. But when you're in the mountains, like you're not set on cruise control. You got to jake up and down and you're really driving. You're really doing something other than just kind of kick back and just following the path of the road. So mountain driving is I love being in the mountains. The only downside, dropped calls. Man, talk about some dropped fucking calls. But anyways, don't worry about your air brake test. Don't watch people on YouTube. Like I wasted so much time with that shit. You're gonna do it so much. You're gonna be looking at them when they tell you, "Hey, you, go to my truck and pre-trip it and air brake, all of you." You're gonna be like inserting emojis like fucking over air brake testing. But I will say, because it happened to one of my best friends in school, who is super fucking smart, he got out there and he just blanked, like literally just blanked doing the pre-trip, like just looking at stuff. I forgot something really important, or something you should really check. I mean, your air conditioner's not the most important thing you should be checking, but for me it is. I don't like to be hot. Um, and my wipers and stuff. Like I forgot some really stupid shit. But when I got to do the in cab, I looked down at the thing and I'm just like, okay. And today we're gonna start our air brake test. And then while I was waiting for the to do the governor cut in cut out part, you're listening for the psst sound. I was like, oh, and while I'm waiting, I'll check my blinkers. He was like, girl, you cannot go back, and I knew that, but I had to try because I was like, holy shit, I didn't do this and this. But you have a lot of leeway on your pre-trip, especially if you're as detailed as I am, because they drill it into your head. Do not stress about fucking pre-tripping and air brakes. Like you're going to do it so much. And you're really going to learn off of each other as students, not necessarily the instructors. And you're going to get quite annoyed about that kind of shit, but feed off of each other, ask each other questions, listen to what each other is saying, and ultimately you're going to find your own rhythm, your own wording. And there's a methodical kind of like rhythm that you're just going to get. It's a jingle. Put it in your head just like your favorite song. Replace your favorite song with your pre-trip jingle and you'll never forget it. And I still out here, I try to use as less of that 15 minutes as possible. So, I'm like, blah, 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 this is, probably security mounted. It's not broken, loose, or missing. If it's a hose, it's not bulging. It's not frayed. It's not, or wires are frayed. It's not bulging, cracked. It's not leaking. You just need to know that hoses, you need to be looking for leaks. There's key words to certain words. Wires can be frayed. Stuff like that. But because it is I'm not making this shit up. This is what they told us in class. Because that test is, so important and it is a government test, it's from the Department of Transportation, we are not advised to give y'all that information. And I personally would never want to be responsible for saying, this is how you pre-trip. And then you go out there and do what I do, and then you like wreck out or bust your test or whatever. Like you're going to get it. Do not stress about it. Um, somebody asked me that I've been asked a lot about the air brake test. I never went back to my room and studied. But I have to say, learning has always come really easy to me. I memorize shit. I remember stuff. Like if I write it down, I can recall it like what I wrote. I can recall the paper, the color of the pen. I can see the words. So don't don't follow me on that. If you need to go to your room and get in a study group, like do what you got to do, but really, 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 y'all feed off of each other as students, and what you may catch on to really quick, somebody else may be struggling with, and vice versa, and you won't know unless you're actually communicating. And go outside your group. Like, don't feel like you have to be stuck to that same two or three people. Move around, talk to people, but definitely don't stress about it, because when test day comes, you're gonna be so fucking nervous. Like people were like waiting in line to go to the restroom because we all had like those anxiety shits. It was just like everybody got bubble guts on Friday. Like it was insane. And I was the only girl, so I didn't have to stand in line for my bathroom. But I don't think I've ever been that nervous to take a test ever. Like I feed off of the anticipation of knowing whether I'm right or wrong when it comes to testing and pretty much everything in life. I take I take everything as a challenge. Okay, it's getting hot again like the other day. We don't need that. Um I love test. I love challenge. Like Luminosity is my favorite app of all time. It's a brain app. Like I love learning. So when I got nervous on Friday, I was like, why the fuck am I nervous? I know this shit. Like, I knew it since we started learning it. I just caught on really quick. And I got out there, like I said, I forgot dumb shit. It was stupid, but I got sharp as a tack when it came to that air brake test because I knew I didn't have any leeway. So just know that on the actual pre-trip part, you're going to have some leeway. They want to just make sure that you know the basics of what the mechanics are and what you're looking for that would make you unsafe on the roads for yourself and other people. But the air brakes, that's a matter of life and death. Like I said, I check my air brakes. Even if I just walk from here to the door and come right back, I'm still gonna do the air brake test. Like the whole fucking thing. Um, that's just me. So I hear your questions, and I know that I probably sound like an asshole to some. Like, oh, you're just gonna practice, practice, practice. I literally just typed that to somebody asking about air brakes, but I mean it. You're going to do it so much, you're gonna be fucking tired of checking that damn truck for air brakes. Um, to make sure the air brake system is working, you're gonna be so sick of it. But the repetition, like I said, some people need to see other people do it. They're visual learners. Some people, need to do it themselves. You're going to get both opportunities. You're going to hear it constantly every single day before y'all can even start backing maneuvers, before you can start driving for the day. You spend the first hour doing and seeing pre-tripping and air brakes, every single one of you in your group. So y'all please don't stress out about that. And you're gonna know it or you don't. Don't try to get out there and fake it. If you don't know something, skip it on the pre-trip. If you don't know it, like if you get out there and you're like, fuck, I don't remember what that's called. Don't let the don't let your tester know that you don't know. Just keep moving, because you're allowed. There's so many leeway points. I can't say anything about the test personally or legally or government wise or whatever. They really warned us about that stuff. But I can tell you that you have some leeway on the pre-trip stuff. Don't try to add stuff to make yourself sound cooler, because you're going to get yourself in a situation where you may actually think you know something but you don't. Or when you get out there, everything you thought you knew, you don't. So study what's in the book. Go over it with your group. Make sure that your group is all on the same page, by the way. If you got that one clown that's like thinking that they're like, um, yeah, kick that dude to the curb. But y'all are all in there for the same goal, to get your CDL. You're not in there to learn how to be truck drivers. That's not what you do at the academy. You're in there to get your CDL. So do what you got to do. Learn what's in the book. Learn what's in the book. Stick to that. If you start watching a bunch of YouTube videos, while there are some really good pre-trip ones, I know, I watched them, you're going to get caught up in a whole bunch of other shit Swift's not interested in. Learn what's in those books. And when you get out there, if you forget something, don't let them know. Just keep it moving. Keep it moving, keep it moving, keep it moving. Look, if you start freaking out, somebody freaked out on the brakes. That's why I'm mentioning this. And they couldn't remember which was a drum, which was the pad. They just pointed to the general area and kept it moving. Like, don't stop and be like, man, I really, I know it's for the brakes, but I don't really quite remember the name, but I think it needs to have this. Then you're going to, no. Keep that song playing. It's gonna come down to a melody and a rhythm. Keep it moving. That is my best advice on pre-trip. Keep it moving. Don't let them know that you're panicking and pissing your pants because you don't fucking know, what a part is. Keep it moving. Scan really fast and look to the next thing that you really know what it is, and keep it moving. Just like gold, get out and look. Keep it moving when it comes to pre-trip. So, if you're not a nervous person by nature, that CDL test is going to it's going to be an introductory crash course for you. But I can't say that there's a way to get rid of it. You just start doing it, and you just kind of have to zone out. Like, you're going to be nervous even while you're talking, and then eventually you know what you know. So tell them what you know. And that's the best thing I can tell you. So I know that was long, but I've been reading the comments, and there's tons and tons of people panicking about pre-trip or inquiring about pre-trip, and specifically the air brakes. YouTube is not the place to be going for that shit. You're going to do it the way your instructor wants you to do it. Your group is going to learn it. You're going to see it so much. Don't stress out about that. So, I have wasted enough of everybody's time. But I hope that genuinely answers your questions as opposed to me just typing some shit. I'm going to eat some breakfast and get rolling, and I will check in with y'all during break. Peace. All right, YouTube. It is, I don't fucking
Proceed north on West Evergreen Street in 470 feet.
9:15 in the morning. I left at 6:15, so it took me exactly 3 hours to get here. I'm at my fuel stop. I've already uploaded my final destination on here. We are 474 miles away. I can take my break here if I want to. Hello? This bitch has been acting dumb as usual. But right now we're going to go on duty and we're going to put fuel because we are fueling. And let's take a look at our clock. We still have 8 hours and 3 minutes, so I'm not actually ready to take a break yet. So I'm actually going to fuel and keep going, and I'll check in with y'all later. What up, YouTube? What up? So this is going to be real short and sweet because I'm kind of dealing with some personal shit right now. Man, getting phone calls out here is really scary, especially when they come from family members from far away. It's never anything good. So it's one of those kind of days. Luckily, nobody's dead today. We can be thankful for that. It's just a bunch of bullshit. So anyways, we are in somewhere Indiana. So we started off in Oklahoma. We went to Missouri. We went through Illinois, and now we're in Indiana. And it is 4:45. I took my break. Everything's good. So I have an hour and 19 minutes left on my clock, and I only have 113 miles to go. So it'll take me about 2 hours to get there in the morning. So no big deal. So I'm going to wake up about on duty, and then we'll fix that in a little while. So 546 miles today. And like I said, I'll get up in the morning as usual. Since today is day 4, I made it a 4-day drive because on the last day on the drop, I don't really consider that driving because 100 miles, that's nothing. You do that I mean, when you drive like I do, that's nothing at all. It doesn't even count. But I'm actually just dropping, and then I pick up my next load, or I think because of needing to go home, I need to go ahead and just reset so that I can pick up my next load and just hurry up and get back home. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. But that is it. So I think after 4 days of y'all seeing the driving and the times and all of that stuff, I hope it's been helpful for y'all. Depending on how the rest of this fucked up ass night goes, I say with a smile. Um, if I can think straight in the morning, I will try to remember to see if I can pull out the device attachments and see if I can show y'all, you know, do the whole drop and pick up thing. Because this is just a drop. I just drop it, go look, pick up my empty, and hang out until I figure out what it is I'm going to do. But I will let y'all know that information in the morning. I definitely got some stuff to take care of tonight. And I hope that y'all are having a much better Sunday than myself. But again, just got to be blessed that we're alive and we're happy. Thank God nobody died today in my family. So, thank y'all for all your love and support, and I will chat with y'all in the morning. Peace out.